we need to find the unit price or the unit cost of 10 pounds of potting soil that is sold for $1.70. So $1.70 per 10 pounds. So we have the dollar amount in the numerator. Now we're going to divide $1.70 by 10, and then we'll have 1 pound in the denominator. Remember, division by a power of 10 is just shifting the decimal point to the left by 1 decimal place value. So 1.70 over a 10. So for every 0, 1 place to the left. Remember this rule. If it's 100, then go 2 places to the left. Left because you're making the number smaller, you're dividing, and for multiplication, you go to the right. So we have 0.17 dollars per 1 pound. So $0.17, which is 17 cents per pound. So that is the unit cost of soil that is sold at $1.70 for 10 pounds. Now we're going to find the unit cost of 30 pounds that is sold for $5.10. So $5.10 per 30 pounds. So this is equal to, now we're going to find the unit cost. So we have to do division. $5.10 divided by 30. We could do long division by 30, or we could use the division by a power of 10. $5.10 divided by 3 times 10, which is 30. Now, if we divide $5.10 by 10, remember division by 10 is easy. We just shift the decimal point 1 place value to the left. So it's going to give us, so we shift 1 place value to the left because there's just 1 0. So it's 0.510 when we divide by 10. So we get rid of 10. We still have to divide by 3. So dividing by 3 is easier than dividing by 30. So this is 0.510. So the first part is just 0. And remember that there's a decimal point, so place the decimal point in the quotient as well. Bring the 5 down. 3 ones are 3. Subtract to get a 2. Bring the 1 down. 3 sevens are 21. Subtract. Get a 0. Bring the 0 down. So it's $0.17 per pound. So in this case, remember it is per 1 pound. So that's why I have per pound. So we're going to compare the unit costs, the unit price of the 10 pound bag and the 30 pound bag. Both seem to cost the same per pound. So either one is fine. It depends on what you need. Both have the exact same unit cost. So when you go to the grocery store, if you're confused about which one is cheaper, because sometimes it's confusing, sometimes it's a 5 pound bag or a 3 pound bag of flour, just look at the label carefully. On the rack, you'll see the unit cost, which means what's the cost per pound. And then it's easy to compare and pick the cheaper of the available options. Now let's see the next one. Read the question. It says, the National Institute of Health, a platelet count below 20,000 per microliter of blood is considered life-threatening. Suppose a patient's test results yield a platelet count of 13 million platelets per 100 microliters. So division by 100 is easy. Remember, 100 is 10 times 10, and you can write the numerator as times 10. So cancel the zeros. So let me just quickly write down what that means. 1, 2, 3, 4 times 100. So the total number of zeros is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 13 million. So the count is good. Divided by 100. So we cancel the 100 with 100. So that's what canceling zeros means. You're canceling 100 with 100. So what's the platelet count? It's 130,000. So that is 130,000 platelets per microliter, 1 microliter, because the 100 is cancelled. So that's the unit count per 1 microliter. So the population of Mexico, and I'm assuming it is the prison population, the prison population of Mexico increased steadily by a total of 344,000 in an 8-year period. Compute the rate. Rate is a ratio representing the increase in the number of prisoners in the numerator per, so divided by years. So 344,000 prisoners per 8 years. So this is equal to now we need to combine these two numbers by division and we'll get prisoners per 1 year. So what are we doing here? 344,000 is now going to be divided by 8. 8 3s are 24, 8 4s are 32. Subtract, bring the 4 down. 8 3s are 24. Bring the next 0 down, put a 0 here, bring the next 0 down, 0, and bring the next 0 down, it's 0. So that would be, if you continue to do the division, you will continue to get 3 more zeros. And that would be 43,000 prisoners per 1 year. So 43,000 prisoners per year. So that's the unit rate. So this section was about rates. Rates are just ratios where you're comparing two quantities. Like for example, here we're comparing the number of prisoners to the number of years and writing it as a fraction. A ratio can be written as a fraction. And just like fractions, we need to reduce the fractions to the lowest terms, and we can also write it as a unit rate after division and making sure that the number in the denominator is a 1.